And I am indeed live. Welcome to the slightly delayed Untitled Anarchist Seagull Channel Friday night stream. It looked like the stove was going to behave in a very strange and disturbing way, and that kind of caught me up for a little bit. But here we are now. Time for some more helpful extremist content. I think I might just get straight into the Geoguessr once I propagate the link. Yeah, those when stoves seem to be possibly keeping their burners on after you've turned them off, having made a cup of tea, that's generally sort of disturbing behavior in a household appliance. There we go. Link has been propagated to the various places, and now let's see where Geoguessr drops us this time. How's my audio, by the way? How's the ratio, the voice to music ratio? We're in Canada. That sign says maximum. And it is very clearly metric. Speed limit signs are the quickest way to rule out the US and Canada, because those are the only two countries in the world that have them rectangular, and Canada's say maximum because it's same in French and English. So we are in some part of the Canada. A very flat part. I'm immediately thinking Saskatchewan, Manitoba. Though I've been through bits of the Maritimes that look like this too. The Central Maritimes are sort of a flatness festival as well. Is that a sign we got coming up? It is the best kind of sign. It is a sign that literally says where we are. Middleton, the community of friendly neighbors established 1855. Middleton, someplace in fucking Canada. So that's a start anyway. Excellent, excellent. Okay. Oh, wait, this is less flat than I thought. We got a hill coming up, okay. Well, then again, they do occasionally have hills once every, 3,000 kilometers in Saskatchewan, so not entirely ruled out. Very mild hill, too. Come on, give me a route number. Or something. Because Canada's fucking big. Okay. Well, that's no fucking help. The speed limit's going down shortly. Come on. I know you're gonna divulge some... Oh, I see a motorway on-ramp if we... Or as much of a ramp as you can have in this very flat part of Canada. Confederation Bridge, we are in the Maritimes. Okay, this is easy. I've been on the Confederation Bridge. I know exactly where this is. We are in Nova Scotia. Actually, when I went over the Confederation Bridge the first time, I ended up sitting next to a guy whose father had died building it. See... Chaudière, Grand Digue. Spence Settlement. Tidnish. Obojagan. Prince Edward Island is the only reasonably sized province in all of Canada. Yes, I'm also twitching things. I'll just pop that link in there. That's me on Twitch. Ah, good tea. Needed a cup of tea. Oh, wow. Special occasion, getting the full screen treatment. Come on. Divulge your secrets. Wait, how far off is the Confederation Bridge? So this is a Route 1A. Oh, no, hell. This is already in... This is already on Prince Edward Island. I got it backwards. You can tell that route sign is a Prince Edward Island route sign. It with that little sort of tree thing. See, the tree standing next to some other thing is the Prince Edward Island route sign. Okay, so we are on PEI Route 1A. Right by the Middleton. And we're also on the Trans-Canada Highway, which makes it easy. Okay. Searletown, Middleton, there we go. Right by Kinkora. First time, I've been to Canada a million times on Geoguessr, but PEI is a new one on me. Pretty place, PEI. Everything is themed on seafood and Anne of Green Gables. Like, literally everything. I'll see Costi. No, not new. We're looking for PEI. There we go. Hello. Hello, you Anne of Green Gables themed landmass. 2.2 miles. Not bad at all. Oh, hello. Well, I mean, if you're going to be in Wisconsin, you want to be in the better Wisconsin, clearly. Okay, and here we go with someplace Portuguese speaking. A melhor carne da região. Limpa e lave. Produtos de limpeza. Okay, we are in Brazil. You can tell because that no parking sign is an E rather than a P. In the EU, it's always a P no matter what the word for parking is. So we are someplace in the area of outstanding natural hugeness that is Brazil. Autoescola, informação de condutores. Wait, okay. Gonna say this is probably near a major city just because it's in... The businesses just look in better shape than when they're in the really provincial areas. Oh, well, that's an advantage. Where is Superior, anyway? I was born in Milwaukee, but I lived there for literally 2 weeks after I was born, so I have no recollection of it. But I hear the beer sucks and they have crappy baseball teams as well. Okay, that's confirmation we are indeed in Brazil. Yes, a super oil change. Like, not just your normal oil change, that's... São Paulo. It doesn't narrow it down very much. São Paulo is actually quite big. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I've had that happen once or twice on Geoguessr. I once got dropped on an intersection in Toronto that I knew really well because I just caught a bus there from the coach terminal like 2 days before. And the other time, dropped me an intersection I know in Lower Manhattan quite well. That's always cool when it actually drops you someplace you've been. Poranga Andromeda. I have a feeling this is probably in São Paulo proper. So it just looks like there's investment in infrastructure, and that you get more of the closer you get to the larger cities. Oh. Guarulhos. There we are. Tiradentes. Which Geoguessr would let you make this map sub-window larger? "43 miles. Area code 12 also covers northern São Paulo. Okay, this has to be North America. Yep, it's the U.S. There's even a U.S. flag there. Oh, we've got a branded street sign. New Brighton, 18th Avenue Northwest. '18th Avenue Northwest in where the hell is New Brighton? God, there are probably like 20 of them. Oh, it looks like there's a fucking white supremacist Gadsden flag underneath there, too. Okay, now we're going to get a little bit more clarity, I think. Pike Lake Apartments. 651. 651 area code. Never heard of 651. Yeah, Minnesota. New Brighton in Minnesota. Never heard of New Brighton in Minnesota, but then there's a lot of Minnesota I've never heard of. All I know is Minnesota likes to copy New York place names a lot. Got relatives who moved from around Buffalo, New York to Buffalo, Minnesota a long time ago. Lino Lakes. Lakes lined with linoleum. New Brighton. Right on the 694. Right by Brooklyn Center. Okay. That's at least a Minnesota place name I've heard of. What, they have a Little Canada in Minnesota? How the hell would you tell the difference between Little Canada and the rest of Minnesota, though? Minnesota kind of is New Canada. '20th Avenue Northwest. 44th, 37th. They're not really going in order with these. The hell's 20th Avenue? Oh, I see. They're not all the same size, so they don't all show up. That's tricky of them. Well played, Minnesota. With your mini decoy Canada. 20th Avenue and 14th Street. No, this is the wrong fucking... Okay, 20th Avenue Northwest we need. hell? Huh? Okay. Fourteenth Street and 20th Avenue Northwest. Where the hell's... Oh, wait. Northwest is to the east of Northeast? So I started out on Northeast. Okay, so we go east and now I'm in west. Okay. South... Okay, 1st Street Northwest. 7th, 10th Street. th Avenue Northwest. At last. And okay. 14th Street. Okay. Is there a... Yeah, except it doesn't seem to intersect with a 14th Street, so I don't think I am in the right one. Huh. 20th Avenue Northwest and 14th Street. Wait a second. 20th Avenue Northwest ceases to exist, turns around into 21st Avenue Northwest, and then begins in a completely discontinuous area again as 20th Avenue Northwest. Yeah, I thought so, because we're looking for something in New Brighton. Pike Lake Apartments. There we go. Here we are. Oh, hell, let me stick a pin in something so I can actually find this. Just don't feel like going through all of that searching through the deliberately confusing street system of Minneapolis, St. Paul, just to find Pike Lake Apartments. Okay, that's easy enough. Northern end of the ring road. So I can actually see the fucking ring road again. Just to the east of Brooklyn Center, just to the south of Blaine. Okay, we're closing in on it now. Okay. It's just to the east of Moore Lake Park and some sort of squiggly lake. Ah, 465 yards. Ah. See, that's another one of these New York place names that they've just sort of appropriated over in Minnesota to, in hopes that, like, still get some of the tourist money just because people mistake it. Okay, Coiffurum. Okay, it's someplace French speaking, but I have a feeling. Oh no, wait, really long number plates, wide number plates. That tells me actually France. We're probably in Paris because that's like the only part of France that Geoguessr knows. Yeah, there's little. This isn't Quebec. Yes, we are in France. Thank you, Griffe Chauffage et Plumerie. And I think we are indeed in Paris. Although I also see the St. Louis Gateway Arch in the distance. Okay, give me a street. No, get back. I need to see what arrondissement this is. Okay. Mairie, Gentilly, Arcueil, Villejuif, Fort de Bicêtre, D7. I believe Villejuif is actually just outside Paris. Bien ami seria. Créteil, Arcueil, Chaumont, Argenteuil, Orly, Massy, Brie-comme-Robert, Créteil, Noisy-le-Grand, Juvisy-sur-Orge. So there's other places. There was Gentilly and Arcueil. I feel like Gentilly is up north someplace. Well, it's nice to know that they're diversifying over at Geoguessr. I'm actually seeing more of Paris on Geoguessr than I saw on the weekend I spent there. Emergency Montmorency, Sarcelles, Aisonville, Atteindville, Coussainville, Tabarnak. C'est où Villejuif? Aubervilliers, Pontin, Montreuil. Roissy-en-Brie, an entire town encased in runny cheese. Only in France. Never see that sort of use of cheese in Italy. Stay. Fort de Bicêtre. Le Kremlin. Tabarnak. Where the hell is that? Oh, it is in Paris. There's a part of Paris that's called the Kremlin. Never would have guessed that. Oh, it is southern. I kind of had this feeling I'd seen Vichy in the south. Le Kremlin Bicêtre. Arcueil. Vichy. Ok, on l'a trouvé. $1,500, not bad. Okay, we're in a region of concrete. Fair bit of the stuff. And there's a big bright light on the other hand, on the other side. 아버지였네. Rue du Petit Rouillac. Okay. Still in the Francosphere. Decidedly not Paris. It's like Geoguessr's listening to me and decided to just to take the piss out of me and show me that actually they do have other parts of France on here. Yeah, definitely not Quebec, because you got that round speed limit sign. This teacup is empty. Ah, there we go. We've got some place names to Start trying La Vigerie. Angoulême. Avenue du Stade. Okay, it's big enough to have a stadium, apparently. Okay, we are still in France. Angoulême. Woody Salira. There, I managed to fit the entire thing on here. I was missing part of it. Angoulême, that sounds familiar somehow. What's the other one? Okay. Nouvelle-Aquitaine. Angoulême. On y est. Five miles. And how'd I do? 24,000 points. That's not bad. Okay, we're closing in on closing time for tonight. See if let's see if there's any shorts we can do. The 10 Commandments, what you should know. Oh, okay, now there's a trajectory I'm not surprised by. Apparently Bill Maher is now doing fucking PragerU videos? Fucking, okay, yeah, I mean, that doesn't surprise me too much. Dennis Prager, the fireside twat. Let's find out what we should know about the 10 Commandments. I mean, I guess this is a warning label about, you know, proper usage and all that kind of stuff. I will be loomed over by Dennis Prager. Okay. Okay, first of all, just before we even have a little, I just have to have a little nitpick. See, the thing about the Ten Commandments is not actually a document. It's something that was put together by various interpretations, but it's never actually provided as a single list in any of the original sources that it's kind of culled from. Oh, well, so the Western civilization invented women's equality. Oh, wait. Wow, okay, so you're gonna. Western civilization ended slavery. So does that. That would seem to mean that Western civilization had slavery to start out with. Interesting how you're skipping that. Yes. Well, yes, because I mean, if there's one thing that really has just completely avoided any kind of tyranny and cruelty, it's the idea that there should be only one religion. That first commandment of yours, I wonder. I can't wait to see how he's going to deal with that. Wait a second. Hold on. Because we've had the Ten Commandments by your reckoning, Dennis, for 3,000 years, and we got both of those things, you know. There's quite a lot of murder and theft. Your bosses do quite a bit of it. So what he's saying is that the Ten Commandments is communism? Again, yeah, it sounded a lot like communism. Yeah, that's one that that PragerU in particular really just is a shining example of. See, they believe in the Ten Commandments so much that they only lie, say, 5 or 6 times in a 5 minute video if they're having an off day. Wait, you skipped over a bunch of them though. Yeah, you skipped over some of the worst ones. It's interesting that the oil billionaires don't seem to be interested in pointing out the whole one about that you shall take a day off every week. Wonder why. Oh shit, sorry. Oh, that's why I. Hell, okay, we'll start this thing over. Yeah, I hadn't turned on audio output. There was my audio out. No wonder my audio was so good. Now tell me.
No document in world history so changed the world for the better as did the Ten Commandments.
Which aren't actually a document. Oh, 360p. No, fuck off. We want to roast this guy in HD. Excellent. I mean, such as it is.
Western civilization, the civilization that developed universal human rights.
Which PragerU opposes.
Created women's equality.
Which PragerU
ended
opposes.
slavery.
Which PragerU has actually made a video justifying the slavery, not the ending
Created
of it.
parliamentary democracy, among other unique achievements, would not have developed without them. As you will see when each of the 10 commandments is explained, these commandments are as relevant today as when they were given over 3,000 years ago. In fact, they're so relevant that the 10 commandments are all that is necessary to make a good world, a world free of tyranny and cruelty. Imagine for a moment a world in which there was no murder or theft.
Things that there's quite a lot of in the, according to him, 3,000 years since the 10 Commandments happened.
In such a world, there would be no need for armies or police or weapons. Men and women and children could walk anywhere at any time of day or night without any fear of being killed or robbed.
Sounds like communism.
Imagine further a world in which no one coveted what belonged to their neighbor, a world in which children honored their mother and father and the family unit thrived, a world in which people obeyed the injunction not to lie.
Okay, the best part about this is, yeah, first of all, since when does the PragerU, it would be nice, a world in which PragerU obeyed the injunction not to lie would be kind of nice, but that's actually not what the fucking, I mean, the original language of the commandment is thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. It's not just lying, it's falsely accusing people. Something else PragerU has a little bit of a wee problem with.
The recipe for a good world is all there in these 10 sublime commandments.
Yeah, he skipped over, like, a few of them.
But there is a catch.
There's always a catch when it's the Koch
The
brothers.
10 Commandments are predicated on the belief that they were given by an authority higher than any man, any king, or any government. That's why the sentence preceding the 10 Commandments asserts the following: God spoke all these words.
Okay. Go on.
You see, if the 10 Commandments, as great as they are, were given by any human authority, then any person could say, who is this man Moses? Who is this king or queen? Who is this government to tell me how I should behave?
Well, I mean, except, so you're saying that if one group of people says that these were, like, created by a supernatural being, that means that nobody is questioning them? Because, I hate to tell you, but a lot of people question them.
Okay, so why is God indispensable to the 10 Commandments?
Because they are a fucking religious concept.
Because...
And because the first one of them actually specifically says that thou shalt have no other fucking religions.
To put it as directly as possible, if it isn't God who declares murder wrong, murder isn't wrong.
Yeah, and, yeah, about that. Because, I hate to tell you, but, the Christian religion that you're standing here is responsible for kind of a lot of murder.
Yes, this strikes many people today as incomprehensible, even absurd.
Yes, because they know the history of Christianity.
Many of you are thinking, is this guy saying you can't be a good person if you don't believe in God?
And yes, he is, which is kind of interesting because he believes in God, or at least claims to, and isn't a good person.
Let me respond as clearly as possible. I am not saying that. Of course there are good people who don't believe in God.
Okay, so you're saying, then what you're saying makes no fucking sense.
Just as there are bad people who do. And many of you are also thinking,
for example.
I believe murder is wrong. I don't need God to tell me. Now, that response is only half true.
Oh, okay, we're gonna get some fucking, Dennis Prager trying to do philosophy. This cannot possibly end well.
I have no doubt that if you're an atheist and you say that you believe murder is wrong, you believe murder is wrong.
Well, that's very nice, because that's much more credit than I can possibly give anyone at PragerQ for believing what they claim to believe in one of these fucking videos, because they contradict themselves regularly.
But forgive me, you do need God to tell you. We all need God to tell us. You see, even if you figured out murder is wrong on your own, without God and the Ten Commandments...
Which would mean you didn't need it.
How do you know it's wrong?
Because you just figured it out. You just said that. Your entire fucking hypothetical rests on already knowing it's wrong.
Not believe it's wrong. I mean know it's wrong. The fact is, you can't. Because without God, right and wrong are just personal beliefs. Personal opinions. I think shoplifting is okay. You don't.
You think that buying off politicians is okay. I don't.
Unless there is a God, all morality is just opinion and belief.
I hate to break it to you again, but even if you assume there is, then it is still just opinion and belief.
And virtually every atheist philosopher has acknowledged this.
No... Yeah, okay. I see what he's doing. You sort of twist this around in a very cute way. For a video where he just talked about how how much he cares about the injunction not to lie. But by pointing out that morality is relative and that there are different perspectives on it, they are not saying that the existence of a God necessarily changes that, or that there is a need to have a God in order to have some sort of a moral compass. It's just pointing out that even the people who actually have one are still making these judgments on their own in the end.
Another problem with the view that you don't need God to believe that murder is wrong is a lot of people haven't shared your view.
Yeah, and I hate to tell you this, but a lot of people who do feel that you need God to say that murder is wrong commit a whole lot of murder. In fact, I seem to remember a few videos, actually, I think I roasted them at some point, where you were explaining why murder is actually kind of okay as long as it's Palestinian civilians being murdered. So you believe you need God in order to think that murder is wrong, and yet you think murder is right. Okay, you're sort of exhibit A of the refutation of what you're saying, Dennis.
And you don't have to go back very far in history to prove this. In the 20th century, millions of people in communist societies and under Nazism killed about 100 million people.
And the Nazis did it in the name of God. Quite explicitly, Hitler was all about God. He loved to talk about it. He actually condemned atheism in very much the same terms Dennis Prager is using now. Because he considered atheism a Jewish plot. He considered fucking everything a Jewish plot, admittedly. But, yeah. So, yeah, you can't really use Nazis as an example of what happens when you haven't got God. They had fucking the church on their side.
A single soldier killed in war. So don't get too confident about...
Why aren't we counting the soldiers killed in war? That was fucking murder. Oh, that's right, okay. Because that's the other thing. Because he's acting like there's only one reading of these commandments. Never mind that there are different versions that have been put together because it wasn't all one list that was in one place in the fucking Bible in the first place. But the King James translation that English-speaking Christians love to use says, "Thou shalt not kill." The original in Hebrew says, "Thou shalt not murder." So he's acting like there's like one set of language. Then there's also the fact Catholics and Protestants and different denominations have their own fucking translations of this. So acting as if there's like this one thing we could all agree on, even if we agree that this is a valid source of moral principles, is just such fucking nonsense.
About people's ability to figure out right from wrong without a higher authority. It's all too easy to be swayed by a government or a demagogue or an ideology,
or a YouTube channel paid for by petro-billionaires.
or to rationalize that the wrong you're doing isn't really wrong.
There are going to be some recommended videos from the PragerU channel where they're explaining that the wrong they're doing isn't really wrong, I'm sure.
And even if you do figure out what is right and wrong, God is still necessary. People who know the difference between right and wrong do the wrong thing all the time.
Yes, whether they believe in God or not. In fact, I mean, often God is very helpful in justifying doing the wrong thing.
You know why? Because they can. They can because they think no one is watching.
Yes, and because even if they think somebody is watching, you'll notice that the motherfucker isn't doing anything about it, is he?
But if you recognize that God is the source of moral law, you believe that he is always watching.
Well, so the fact that, okay, now here's a philosophy 101 exam question. So Dennis Prager is saying that fundamentally the only reason anyone ever acts right is because they think God is watching. And he thinks that not lying, he said that this is one of the things that absolutely is a divinely inspired moral principle. A moral principle he systematically violates. So, does this mean he doesn't believe God is watching? Or does this mean he believes that God is watching but just doesn't give a shit?
So even if you're an atheist, you would want people to live by the moral laws of the Ten Commandments.
Why would I, as an atheist, why would I want people to live by thou shalt have no strange gods before me? Or thou shalt make no graven images. It's funny, we're not talking about those ones. Those are in there. I mean, if you want to just cut it down to don't fucking lie, murder, or steal, and don't covet the petro-billionaires who own thy neighbor's YouTube channel, why don't you just cut down the number 2 and say the 4 commandments? You also don't seem to be interested in the bit about the Sabbath, the whole day off thing. I guess you wouldn't. Not keen on workers having paid time off, I suppose. But yeah, I wouldn't want people to live by a commandment that says that it's wrong to have other religions or none. 'Cause that would be, yeah, self-defeating kind of.
And even an atheist has to admit that the more people who believe God gave them, and therefore they are not just opinion, the better the world would be.
Well, yes, like the Inquisition and the Nazis who you pointed out, who also believed that God gave them this stuff. Or, let's see, the witch trials and all those fucking genocides and the residential school concentration camps with their wonderful little academic mass graves. Yeah, clearly, those of us who are atheists and therefore wear this weird sort of atheist circle A emblem / Star Trek communicator, what the fuck that is? Yeah, I'm just, again, even, see, this is predicated on these people never meeting an atheist who are watching this.
In 3,000 years, no one has ever come up with a better system than the God-based Ten Commandments for making a better world.
Really? Then why do we have laws? Why do we have constitutions? What's with that Declaration of Independence you like to wave around? It seems like people actually kind of it turned out that alone wasn't actually all that workable, and people had to come up with some better ideas for it. So you're saying just get rid of all of the... Yeah.
And no one ever will. I'm Dennis Prager. Folks, this video was made possible through our partnership with Dallas Baptist University. PragerU subscribers may be eligible for a $1,000 scholarship toward tuition for courses taken through DBU.
So if you're being grifted once, you can go and be grifted a second time. Well, this that is like even that was like fucking buck wild logic even by Dennis Prager's fucking standards. Killing in war isn't necessarily lawful, though. Lots of killing in war is totally unlawful. That's a fucking nettlesome issue. But if we make it dependent on whether it's lawful or not, we're already relying on sources other than the Ten Commandments, and that totally fucks up Dennis Prager's bullshit argument here again. But having said that, it is time for me to bring this to a close for tonight. I will be back tomorrow. Hopefully there won't be any weird stove bullshit, so I'll be getting started at the normal time. Thank you for joining, and I can't wait to see you tomorrow.